Trump, for the 70th time, has now threatened Iran that he's going to destroy Iran and then straight away backtracks. Almost we're dealing with a bipolar person. And it's the same story again. Trump says we're already locked and loaded. And then at the last minute, the Gulf areas have requested that I delay my attack. Iran is begging me for a deal, which we obviously know is not true, because it is Iran that is escalating. It's Iran that's pushing the U.S. assets out of the Middle East, all the way from Kuwait, Bahrain, to Jordan, and to Israel. And the issue is that there's nothing that the U.S. can do militarily to open the Strait of Hormuz or achieve the previous objectives that the U.S. had, which is regime change, destroy their missile cities, because they tried pretty much everything. In the first 40 days, they threw everything they had at Iran. And the problem that they found is that Iran has built a lot of things underground, and therefore they're untouchable. And the fact that it only takes a few cheap drones and a few cheap missiles that doesn't even have to be launched from the coastal line of Iran to disrupt the Strait of Hormuz. And on top of it now, the Bab al-Mandeb in the Red Sea is also disrupted by Ansar Allah, or as people know them as Houthis, because following the attacks that Saudi Arabia carried out on the Sana'a airport in Yemen, which is where Ansar Allah are. And you add on top of it, there's a time limit to all of this, which is this war cannot go on forever, because the only reason why oil prices are not high is that the US is releasing oil from their oil strategic inventory, their strategic reserves that are used in emergency situations, into the economy, which is keeping the prices low and ensuring there's no shortages. So that strategic reserve buffer is expected to be depleted by either the end of August to the end of October. At the same time, the US have depleted a lot of their ammunition, especially their interceptor defense missiles, because they didn't understand how many missiles and drones Iran has, how prepared Iran was for this war. And so apparently this latest deal is that Trump has accepted Iran to control the ships that enter the Gulf through the Strait of Hormuz, and then Oman is in charge of the things that exit, which is essentially Trump conceding and saying, yes, Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. Because if Iran controls either the entry or the exit, it only requires one, then it controls the flow of movements. And that's the whole point that Iran wants. I mean, Iran doesn't want to control the Strait of Hormuz for just controlling the Strait of Hormuz. They want to control the Strait of Hormuz to act as a leverage against the US, to ensure that the US meets the other conditions that Iran has set for them, such as the unfreezing of their assets, such as the removing sanctions, such as ending the war, such as removing the occupation of Lebanon by Israel. Why would the US accept any of this if it wasn't forced to? Because Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. Because if Iran controls that, it controls the flow of energy. Essentially, Iran can increase the production of oil or reduce the production of oil by controlling the Strait of Hormuz and causing economic warfare against the US and the world economy. So whenever the US doesn't meet its conditions, the ships that enter Hormuz are going to be reduced, and so that increases oil prices.